Welcome back to the Jake's Take with Jacob Elyachar Podcast. I'm your host, Jacob Elyachar, the chief content producer and writer of jakestake.com, a pop culture and entertainment news website. Before we get this interview started, if you're watching this on YouTube, head over to, please subscribe and please give us a like. And then also, if you're watching this on podcast, head over to give us a 5-star rating and also please subscribe. I really appreciate it. I'm so excited because today I'm talking to my guest from all the way in London, England. She is a rising UK pop star and a Spotify verified artist. She has opened for Alesha Dixon, Becky Hill, Foxes, and Little Mix, and her music can be listened to on BBC Radio, BBC Leicester, and BBC Scotland. So please help me welcome Eleni C.
Hey Jacob, how are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for coming here. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me.
You are on fire. I was listening to some of your tracks, and you are on the start of something big, and I can tell you that much.
Oh my God, thank you so much. That really means a lot.
All right, so when did you get interested in the music industry, and how did that passion involve a desire to pursue a career in it?
To be honest, I was one of those children that would be singing in their bedrooms, jumping on their bed with their hairbrush in their hand, listening to Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera. So music has always kind of been in me. It's in my blood. And I think what made me decide to follow it as a career was when I got my first opportunity to perform live on stage. The feeling that I got, I was just like, can I have this kind of like every day, this feeling? Can I do this as a living?
Absolutely. And I remember growing up in the 90s when Britney first came on the scene, and Christina and the Backstreet Boys and NSYNC and Destiny's Child. So it was what a great time for 90s music.
It was, the 90s music was absolutely amazing. I mean, like having all of these amazing artists like growing up, I feel like we were really lucky. We were blessed, and the bands as well. I mean, I even have them still on my phone today. I have a playlist dedicated to all of their music.
Absolutely. I'm snacking a lot of that music onto my walking and also to my workout playlist as well.
It's fabulous. I mean, it's literally like that kind of music. You can listen to it in any kind of mood. I think sometimes, like when I'm driving, I have one of those moments, especially with the Backstreet Boys, where I just get so carried away that I'm singing the song and I can see like people at the traffic lights looking at me thinking, are you feeling okay?
But seriously, I would love to sit down and do an interview with Max Martin, who was actually one of the forefronts of that kind of music.
Oh my God, such an amazing artist.
Totally agree. So speaking of those artists, so who are your biggest role models in the recording industry, and how do they influence your sound?
I would say I always loved Christina Aguilera and Mariah Carey because I was a massive fan of their music and also their vocal ability. And when it came to kind of performance-wise, and vibe-wise, really, it was always like Britney Spears or J-Lo, because when it came to them doing like a show, when it was like performing and dancing, I was just always so mesmerized by their sets. I mean, I could literally watch them continuously, like all the time on YouTube.
I did see some of them. I did see Christina Aguilera perform at Radio City Music Hall a couple years ago.
Oh my God, I'm so jealous. I've never been able to see her perform live. That is definitely something which is on my bucket list.
She was absolutely amazing. Probably one of the best experiences I've ever had.
I mean, her vocal ability is just insane, and her tone, like her voice is so unique. Like you don't even need to see to be able to identify that it's her.
Absolutely. Christina is probably one of the best. And speaking of the best, before the COVID pandemic, you did have the chance to open for Alesha Dixon, Becky Hill, Little Mix, and Tulisa. So what were some of the lessons that you learned from them that helped you grow as a performer? Because especially Alesha and Tulisa, since they both have that similar reality TV background as judges, and for Little Mix, they got started on reality television.
So for me, I think doing all these shows, firstly, preparation is key. But when you go on stage, like the feeling that you get is just kind of, you can be prepared, but you can never be prepared for the feeling that you're going to get when you go on stage. I don't know if that makes sense, but like, you know, it's like you just enter into like this bubble, and all of a sudden you go on like autopilot. And I remember when I was doing like my first show, I think it was for Becky Hill. It was like I was so nervous before I was going to go on. But then as soon as I got to the stage and as soon as the music kicked in, I was just like in my element, like my nerves and everything just went away. And it was like this bubble that I wished I could live in like forever. Oh, and also having a backup outfit. A backup outfit is key.
I totally agree, especially when I go to these shows and you see all these performers, no matter. And I think you need to have a backup outfit just in case, or like at least have 5.
Always. I mean, I had a show where I had the same dress in blue and in purple, and I really wanted to wear the blue one. And when I went to put the blue one on, the zip decided to break.
Oh no.
And I was like, oh my God. And then my manager was like, you see, I told you backup outfits are very important. Thank God she packed the purple one without me knowing, because I was being stubborn and I was like, I don't want the purple one. I just want the blue. Like, I'm not wearing the purple. And then she pulled it out and I was like, thank you.
And besides, it must have been, thank goodness that you say, because that could have been a disaster, especially with the British tabloids.
Yeah, I mean, for me, everything stage wise is important, from obviously like my vocals, but my performance and my outfits, they just kind of all come together, and it's like one needs the other. Like all the elements are just as important as each other.
I totally agree. So what have been some of the challenges that you faced breaking out of not just the UK music industry, but also you've had a lot of success from years since the Beatles made their debut, but breaking into the international music industry? And how did you overcome those obstacles?
I think the most difficult thing is picking yourself up from, closed doors, rejection, or people saying, you're not good enough, or your music's not, what we think is going to sell. Like, all of these things are, for me, probably the most hardest obstacles that I've had to face, because I've practically dedicated my whole life to my career because I love music. It's part of who I am. And sometimes when the road gets really, really tough and you're kind of not getting to where you want to at the times that you want to, when you have further knockbacks, it's so difficult to keep going. And I think these are the toughest moments, that if we can, if we as artists keep pursuing and don't give up, then you will get to where you want to. And for me, that's been probably the biggest struggle and the biggest lesson to learn, to honestly just never give up.
Absolutely. And especially with we could say about the press as well. And we're podcasting, like I'm celebrating a decade, and it's tough it's tough to build an audience.
It really is. I think sometimes people don't understand how much work goes on behind the scenes. Like, to get a show prepared, to be ready to perform live, it takes a really big preparation, and it takes a dedicated team. Like, for me, I have, my manager, my choreographer, my dancers, I have my producer. Everybody is as important as each other. Like, when I go on stage, yes, I'm Eleni C, I'm the singer, but fundamentally there's so many other people who have had their hand in getting me there.
Absolutely. It takes a village, no matter if it's your management team, if it's your publicist, the dancers, even the crew members creating no matter if it's costume designers, the set designers, even the musicians. Everyone has and of course the dancers, I cannot forget about the dancers. Everyone has a part to play. And if you go look at I remember looking at like the Billy Joel or Christina's playbook when I got the program. There's so many people behind a tour.
So many. It's honestly a huge team effort, and I think if you're not in that business, sometimes you actually don't understand how much preparation it takes. And it's like it's not even just preparation, but it's also a way of life. Because, for example, to be able to like sing and dance at the same time, it's not something that you can just kind of do like overnight. You have to train for it because it's exhausting. Like singing and dancing at the same time, for example, is really, really tough, and it requires training. And it's like that misconception sometimes when people are like, oh, what does a footballer do? They just kick a ball. It's not like that. Everything, to be good at something or to pursue something like that, you have to dedicate your life, and you have to train so much just for that little window.
Yeah, especially like if you look at the legends like Michael and Janet and Tina Turner, and not to mention Madonna and Prince. And now we have, for our generation, it's Beyonce, it's Timberlake, it's Christina, it's Britney, it's Gaga.
Exactly.
And Bruno Mars.
Everybody has a story and a journey. Whenever you see like all of these stars, nobody made it overnight. I mean, for me, one of the biggest inspirations is Jennifer Lopez. Like, she hustled for so many years to get to where she's at, and it's an inspiration to see her achieve more than what she probably set out to achieve. And it's people like that gave me really hope, that gave me strength to just continue to just keep fighting for what I want.
I totally agree. I've seen J-Lo. I have the pleasure of seeing J-Lo twice. I've seen her at the 2012 Dance Again tour with Enrique Iglesias, who is totally underrated, by the way. And J-Lo put on a phenomenal show. And then not only that, when she played tribute to Celia Cruz at 2013 American Music Awards. She is one incredible performer.
She's amazing. Her presence is just something that you just can't, like, I can't even explain it. She's fantastic. She was born to perform. She was born to be this amazing star that she is.
And I'm going to tell you this, Eleni C, you're going to be an amazing star, though. You have the potential to be a J-Lo or to be on that level if you continue to work hard. And I want to talk to you about some of those songs that's going to help you.
Thank you so much. That really means a lot.
All righty, let's start with Tug of War.
Tug of War, yes. One of my latest singles.
And it's a great song, and I really love to tell the stories behind them. Like, I picked out five of these songs because I believe that you would have the perfect opportunity to talk to my listener, the audience, about them.
So Tug of War is all about you and another person being in love with each other, but for some reason you just can't seem to make each other happy. Even though you love each other, you're just bringing out maybe the worst in each other, and you come to the point where you have to let the love go. Like, you have to let each other go. And if it's a love that's meant to last, then you will find your way back to one another. But sometimes things need to break in order to be fixed.
I totally agree. Silent Voices. I would love to hear the story behind that.
Silent Voices. That one's quite a special song for me because prior to the onset of coronavirus, I was on a national school tour around the UK. So I got to perform to a whole bunch of students and talk to them about mental health. And during my meet and greets, I got to hear a lot of stories from the students about kind of their life experiences and also their passions. And all those stories inspired this song. And it's all about us not being afraid to show the world what we love to do, what we're passionate about, what makes us special. Silent Voices is about us not being silent about these things. and about us embracing our individualities and not being afraid to show the world.
I really love I Don't Give a Damn. It's a potential club banger. It's definitely a song you could dance to.
Honestly, what that song really gets the crowd going because for some reason people just absolutely love saying I don't give a damn. So whenever I'm performing the song live, it's like I say to the crowd, can I hear you say I don't give a damn? And then literally you hear this roar of people being like, I don't give a damn. And that song literally it's all about.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty, guys. Right now, I think the internet, Eleni C's internet is not froze for a little bit, so let's hopefully she gets back. Oh, there she is. Sorry, the internet cut out.
It's okay. So yeah, as I was saying, I Don't Give a Damn is all about us just not caring about what other people say, other people's opinions. It's about us following whatever we love to do, whatever we think is right for us. And sometimes we make mistakes and we make wrong choices, but the main thing is that we learn from it.
We always have to learn and grow. All right, the last song that I want to talk to you about is Black and White.
Yes, Black and White. Black and White came out on Friday last week, and Black and White is all about a love not being basically all roses and not being all misery. You know, in life we always need a balance. You know, sometimes we're happy, sometimes we're sad, and it's the same thing with being in a relationship, following your heart, following love. You know, there's going to be moments of pure happiness, and then there's going to be moments. And if you kind of find that, if you can find that love, then it's worth fighting for and not letting it go.
I totally agree. And I love the calypso beat of that song. That is just, I love it so much. Oh, the calypso beats.
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
The dance. There's the incredible dance beat of Black and White. It's so calypso. It feels.
Yeah. Oh my God, Caribbean. Black and White. Do you know what? With Black and White, it was like one of those songs.
All right, we're working on the internet connection. So this has been fascinating, I think. Oh, there she is again. Sorry about that, guys.
Sorry. Black and White. Do you know what? When we were making that song, honestly, we went to the studio with kind of no idea of what we wanted to create. So it was like, how I tend to explain to people is that this song was like a salad mixture that just found its balance.
I totally get it. I definitely think that song's really good. Who are your dream collaborators? Like, have you thought of the people you want to, the singers, songwriters, producers that you want to sit down into a studio or like go on to Zoom and say, okay, let's write a hit? And why, and how would it enhance your sound?
I would love to, in terms of like songwriting, in terms of songwriting and producing, I would probably say that Ryan Tedder is an amazing songwriter. The stuff that he's written, like with Adele, has been, I mean, it's on like my all-time favorite list. So he's definitely a songwriter who I would love to collaborate with. I would love to collaborate with J-Lo. My God, a track with her, a performance with her would probably be like a dream come true. I think I could die happy the next day. She's just fantastic.
Awesome. I definitely think those opportunities could happen.
Do you know what? I always hope, and for me, I think it's always good to dream big, you know, because the dreams are what keep us going. You know, the dreams are what we fight for, and you know, who's going to tell us no apart from ourselves? We have to believe that it's possible in order for something to kind of happen.
Absolutely. So we got to start winding down our conversation. So let's talk social media. So what are your favorite social media platforms? Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube, and why do they stand out?
So I do love, I mean, I'm probably most active on Instagram because I feel that with Instagram, you know, the Instagram stories, it kind of allows me to show people an insight into kind of my everyday life, because what I post is very much you know, music-based, career-based. So it doesn't necessarily show all aspects of my life. So I really like Instagram for that, because it allows me to give people an insight into things that, you know, they're not going to see necessarily main posted. Twitter, I love Twitter because, again, it allows people to kind of give me an opinion on my music, on, you know, on my videos, and it's really nice to kind of see. And for obvious reasons, YouTube, I think, is fantastic because creatively it allows me to express my songs through dance, through visuals, and for that, I'm very grateful.
Absolutely, absolutely. So if you had the opportunity to meet with aspiring musicians who want to advance their careers in the music industry, what advice would you share with them?
I would just say to them, keep fighting for what you love. Don't give up. Do not allow anybody to take your sunshine away. Listen to whatever people have to say, but have faith and trust your own judgment. Sometimes don't take everybody's word as, you know, gospel, but always be open to hearing people's advice and potentially constructive criticism.
Awesome. So, Eleni, where can we find your music? And also, besides Instagram and Twitter, where can my audience connect with you?
So I have my own website, which is elenicmusic.com. So it has all of my socials on there, which are all Eleni C Music. And also I have a mailing list there. So if they wanted to kind of contact me, they can always send me an email via my website, which my management will filter through to me. So yeah, everything is literally all there.
Awesome, guys. To download more episodes of the Jake's Take with Jacob Elyachar podcast, head to Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and Spreaker. Once again, just type in Jake's Take with Jacob Elyachar, JACOB And also, are you on social media? Because I'm on social media too, guys. So please subscribe and Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. All Jacob Elyachar, JACOB And Eleni, I was just referring to that I'm celebrating 10 years in the industry.
Amazing. Congratulations, Jacob. Do you see? Hard work pays off.
Absolutely. And guys, to visit the blog that has started all, head to jakes-shake.com. You'll find more articles, interviews, and reviews, including my take on Eleni C's Black and White. And guys, please consider heading to PayPal to help me keep Jake's Take and my platform up and running. I really appreciate all the help what you guys can throw. Eleni, I am so happy that we had this opportunity to sit down together.
Me too. Thank you so much, Jacob. This has been such a fun interview.
Awesome. I'm so happy to hear that. And guys, thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for listening. Until next time, have a fantastic day.